So you'll see now that it's come to the end of the sync. It did take quite a long time. There was a few issues. We know we need to just be a little bit better. When it hits an issue, it just sort of stops. So what we're going to do in the future is have it so it hits an issue, it says there's an error, and you can go and fix it, and then it carries on. But hey, it's all done now. So there we go. They're all completed. So syncing player 65 out of 65. Now, how do we know that this is correct? Well, let's go and have a look. Let's go and look at some of the players. So what happens in the EBPF is, in between seasons, they reset everything. And basically what happens is that nobody has any assigned teams. So let's go and have a look at some of these players. So we'll look at some of the end ones just to sort of see. So Tony Stork. So let's go. I've got it in a different browser. Not that one here. So player registration. So what you can do is you can go to, on the ebpf.uk, you have to log in. I'll provide details. If you then go to, you then get a new menu option here, player registration. You go to player registration. In fact, yeah, okay, I thought I'd logged out. It logs in. I'll give you the username and password. It's, I think, the one they set up for us. So it's not obvious, not easy to remember. You then click on the registration and you do register players. Sorry, I was thinking about something completely different. And it comes up with the last one I chose. Okay, fair enough. But if we go with Tony Stork, and then if you move away from this field, it then loads all his details, and you'll see that it's got B. So that's correct. Let's go to, I don't know, let's just go to some of the players we know. Tariff, Johnson, she's in ladies B, that's correct. If we look at, I don't know, let's say Jan Spinner, because she is in females and A and the Kent Masters, so that's good. Let's go to Ian Thomas, because I should now be removed. And there you go. So you see, this is how they do it. So I'm not in any team, so that means effectively I'm not registered. So that's them done. I mean, let's have a look. Let's have a look at some. I bet I've spelt Jamie wrong anyway. Oh no, it looks like it's spelt right. There you go. You're in the B team. That's correct. Let's do Paul Shooter. Let's say, for example, and you'll see that that's correct. So they've all been registered. Let's just check the youth team, and that is let's do Slot, because he's a new player. And you'll see, thank goodness for that. He's in the youth, so that's good. Let's look at, I don't know, Michael Cans. He's also in the youth team. So there we are. So they're all working correctly. I guess let's just do a C team player. C team player that is Ash Dunlop. I've got a feeling Ash is not in the C's. No, he's in the C's but not the Masters. That's right. So that's okay. So who's in the C's and the Masters? Steve Brooks. Oops. Steve Brooks is indeed Masters and C. So you'll see that it's done everything for you. So now we're registered, we're finished. And I've got a feeling it's, so now you could basically turn around to the county manager, so in this case it's Bill, and say, Bill, everything done. And Bill can then send a message to the regional manager saying it's all done, should be fine. So that's that. Oh, blimey. Right, so let's go back to the app, and now you see they're all completed. But if we now go to, for example, if we go to an individual player, let's look at edit players. Yeah, leave that page. So what have we done to correct it? Well, there's a few things that need to be addressed. So Alfie Richards is a good example where I think we've put we've put a fake date of birth and this address. So if we go and look at Alfie Richards on the EBPF site, Alfie Richards, you'll see that it's in the use team and this is his details and that's his date of birth. If I now go back and I change, let's say I change this, let's say we're going to make it the 25th of December. Oops, that's not right. 25th of December. So we know, I'm sure there are maybe some people born on Christmas Day, but I don't think he is. So we'll put him as that. We'll do save. in the youth team. And this takes a little bit longer now because it's syncing with the EBPF site. So you can see up here it's still doing something. So let's let it finish. There we go. So it's all saved and synced. You see that it's different. If we now go back to this site here, if we clear all, and if we do Alfie Richards, oh, I can't see it. Alfie. I think it's the second one, isn't it? Yeah. There we go. You'll now see it's changed the date of birth. So it syncs this. So you don't have to go to this page anymore. Also, is that how you spell shopping centre? I don't think it is it? So let's again go back and we'll do, I don't know, is that right? My spelling is terrible. No, it's definitely right. Okay. But let's say, for example, he says, oh no, I'll give you my proper address. You could change the address here, click on save, and as long as you're in between start season and end season, it'll do everything for you. It's also done the registered for you for all the players, because they're effectively, that's what the sync does at the start of season. So if we go, I'm going to get rid of all these players, by the way, because these were the ones that were slightly incomplete in terms of the data. So if I go to, let's say, I don't know, let's go George Taylor. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to anyone. If I go to him, you'll see it's registered. You see, this has been set, but we need to reset these because that's for the treasurer to go in when he receives the money, or he or she receives the money into the account. They can then go in and they can click that and they can click on save. And I think, I might be wrong, but I think that might do the sync, but it doesn't really matter. It's fine. So that is the player registration. The last thing we've got to do is do the actual syncing per matches. I'm not sure if it's the same person, but it kind of makes sense to be the player registration. That just literally after a match, he logs in, goes into the administration and does scrape. So quickly, by the way, you'll see that system settings, it's now set to true. That's the only thing really the end of season and start of season does, as well as the syncing for start. Let's go to scrape. In fact, I'm going to go to another window and I'm going to just show you that the results, they're last year's. So the league table is last year's. Okay. So if we do scrape, now it does all this information. So you'll see that you can do the only fixtures. We've covered that already. But if we do start scraping, leave test mode off, this will just do dummy data. It's not really, you should never ever have that ticked. If we start scraping, you'll see that it starts doing it. Now, this is, I think it takes, it says the scraping process might take up to 30 minutes. I think in general, I think it takes between 10 and 15. But basically, what you can do, you can see that it's working. I can't remember which one it is. One of them or a couple of them take forever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the video now. And then I will, I'll come back when it's finished and we can go through and see the data.